All right, we continue with our coverage of SEC Media Days, exclusively presented here on the Next Round by Baptist Health. Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer is with us. Welcome in, Coach. How you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Always good to see you. And, it seems like we don't get a summer anymore. This thing just flies back around. It's hard to believe it was a year ago we were sitting here doing this interview in Dallas.
It is, and it does go fast. With June being so much with recruiting and camps, and obviously you're still taking care of your team. It's just a couple weeks ago, you were full swing with that. And, fortunately our staff gets a couple weeks here, and we're, 2 weeks from today, actually probably right about now,
wow.
we're in a team meeting getting ready for our first practice. So it's on us. But that's exciting, and that's what, Media Days in my mind always kind of signifies here we go.
Yeah.
And a year ago, it was such a transition. I know it was a whirlwind for you. Do you feel like more so ownership of the program in year two? Do you feel more comfortable?
Well, I think a lot of it is just familiarity, and everything is just new the first time through, right? And you can have done this, been a part of many programs, right? And fall camp is fall camp, and you set a schedule up, and you know what you want it to look like. But there's little nuances that you can do to make things better. That might be your schedule because of logistics and opportunities that your place has that are different than another. And, that goes back to just even the day-to-day routines and, understanding class schedules and how that's different here versus other places in the summer, in the spring. But, round two, the next round. Next round. I like it. There we go. It's been great. And the continuity of the staff, continuity of players, and just, you feel like when there's continuity that you got the right people. And I really feel that there's a sense of that happening within the building. And, just trying to evolve, trying to adjust, trying to always make things better. That's got to be the case. We talk about a relentless pursuit of continuous improvement, and I feel like that's what's happening. Our guys got the pedal down and, aren't getting too far out there. They're focused on what they can control, and that's today's workout.
Yeah, I've loved the way you and Nick Saban have managed y'all's relationship, because that could have been an overbearing thing. You're going into year two here, but he pops up on a recruiting weekend. Explain to our viewers how y'all's relationship is working, and it seems to be benefiting both of you, really.
Yeah, first of all, he's really busy. Yeah. He's got a lot going on, I do too. And there was one time, it was in the spring. I think it was probably in June, actually early June. And I was trying to find a time. I had my assistant check with his. I'm trying to find a date, before fall camp. And we could not find a date where we could get together. He's busy doing his thing. But here's the thing I know. I know that you don't put everything into a program for as many years as he did. And, he's got his fingerprints and then some all over the place, when it comes to what this tradition, what the pride of this place is all about. He added to it, made it better, and, before he got there compared to when he left. And, he's obviously right there, still employed by the university in a capacity, has an office over there in the stadium. And, any time I know that a staff member or myself would have a question or want to reach out to him, I know he'd be open to that. He wants Alabama football to be successful. You don't just do it and then let it drift off and it not bother you. So when it comes to the question you had, he just worked out to where there was a time in his slot, and I had just met with him and seen him, and it had been a while, but I had a chance to pop over and say hi, and just worked out for us to have a couple meeting slots, and then it was cool because I felt like it was a special time. Because these were guys that he had met with, I'm trying to make sure compliance-wise. I'm navigating, I'm thinking ahead before I talk here, making sure that
nobody pays attention.
That's right.
Don't worry.
That's right.
No, I understand.
Making sure that it was really cool because these are some guys that he had met with, early in their recruiting process, and just why not make something special for people when they come to your campus for an official visit? And that's what I'm always trying to do, and that was the case in that situation.
The Jalen Milroe experience last year was interesting. At times he was the best quarterback in college football, and then there were some down moments. Do you expect more consistency this year with Ty?
Yeah, and I think consistency has to do with that position, but it also has to do with everyone else around you, and the offensive line being consistent, the receiving core being consistent, everyone just being a little bit more on the same page because of reps. We all get better because of reps, and reps is individual, but reps is also what you do together. And these guys have now year 2, and we've brought a couple more, I think, pieces in, especially in the receiving position, that I can think are going to be really beneficial. That position group now is another year long. I mean, Ryan Williams, as great as he was, there's still so many things that he can and will continue to get better at until he plays his last snaps, hopefully in Pro Bowl, right? And so, that consistency comes through repetitions. We've really hammered situational stuff. What are we going to do when we're in that moment? And you're building a system, too, that can attack all the different defenses and all the different situations you're in throughout the course of the season. And, when you're in your first year, sometimes there's things that you have to install offensively. I know that happened defensively, too. Just because there's a volume amount that only guys can handle in spring ball, in the summer, in fall camp. And, you get to a week 5, 6, 7, whatever it might be, and a new opponent that has a little something different, and you want this wrinkle that you've used, in the past, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, whenever it was, you put it in, you don't execute it as well. And that might have been the case in some cases for him. Sometimes, you try not to put too much on his plate, make him think too much, whatever it might be. There's reasons for a lot of it. But I think Ty's really got a great head on his shoulders. He's really continued to grow this summer. I'm excited about the progress he's made, as well as the other quarterbacks.
All right, before you get out of here, what do you think was the one thing you learned in your first lap around the SEC that will make it better for you this year?
Well, I just think the depth of the league, I mean, you know it going in. It's not like it catches you by surprise, but just the depth from top to bottom is so strong, and there's a physicality that every team's going to bring that you can't just match. You gotta beat them to the punch, and the environments are amazing. They're awesome. They're a lot of fun, but it's week after week after week. You're constantly working on crowd noise, whether it's the crowd noise of your own, and you're on defense, and so, or you're working on crowd noise when you're going on the road, and so just all of those things. And I think we just understand, again, how are we going to handle those things? What's our communication?
Did you learn something from Tennessee that helped you at LSU in the Tennessee game specifically that helped you when you went to LSU?
I think just more reps at it.
Yeah.
I think that was the key. We kept the same way of communicating, but it was just more reps and really understanding that we fell short and just didn't do a good job in that game of communicating, and then the crowd did affect us. There's no question about it, and we did a better job. We started out actually with a false start early in the game.
I know.
Like right off the bat, and you're like, oh no,
here you go again. Yeah.
But our guys definitely, again, repetition gave confidence, and our guys, just stayed the course and didn't let that get to them early on.
Alabama coach Kalen DeBoer, good luck, Coach. Always good to see you.
You bet. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
All right, thank you.
You bet.